guys, it's Sunday and we are at Goodwood Revival. I don't know what that was, an eat. It was a bit like, I was a cross between in and at, because I wasn't sure where we were. Where are we actually, other than Goodwood Revival? Yeah, we're at Goodwood Revival, which is really exciting. It's down the south coast somewhere in Britain. Obviously in Britain, because we still haven't travelled, like, you know. Duh. You're not answering, where are we?
We're on the south coast between Southampton and Brighton.
Lovely. Okay, that was a bit more helpful than me just going, we're at Goodwood, yeah. So, I now think that we're really scruffy because we're just in our jeans and t-shirt and everyone else around us is all dressed up in their finery and vintage clothing, but, you know, what do you do? So, John's giving me the eyebrows. Why are you giving me the eyebrows?
I think Elton John's in the car next to you.
A lookalike.
Quite a poor lookalike, yes.
I can't look because they're like looking at me, and because John's like laughing and giving me wiggly eyebrows, it's now really embarrassing and uncomfortable. And I just want to look, but I can't because, yeah, I can see them out of the corner of my eye, and it's quite a bad.
Sparkles on that.
They are very shimmery sparkles, I have to admit. I can't, I've got to stop. So, Goodwood Revival then. This show is something that we watch pretty much most years on the TV, and every single year we say, oh, we'd really love to go to that, oh, we should have got tickets. You know, it's one of those things that we always forget to kind of do or look into until it's on the TV. The same with Glastonbury Festival, always wanted to do that too, but you just never think about going until it's on the telly. Anyway, John's dad entered a competition and he won 2 tickets to go to the revival. So he asked if we would like them, and of course we said yes. So we only had a day's notice, which is fine because we weren't doing anything anyway, and we were really grateful for the tickets. We knew that everybody, well, not everybody, but we knew that a lot of people get dressed up and wear vintage clothes and, you know, go the full hog, but obviously only having sort of a day's notice, we didn't really have time to kind of do that. So I felt a little bit underdressed because everybody there was just, well, I say everybody, most people were either in vintage clothing or in this sort of finery. But anyway, never mind. It was one of those things that we'd really like to do and go back again to do. It was a really good day, a really amazing experience, and definitely think if you're going to do Goodwood, you kind of need to really immerse yourself into the show as a whole. Like, go dressed up, and, you know, there was helter-skelters and merry-go-rounds. You know, there was a salon so you could get your hair and your makeup done in a vintage style. You know, basically there was like there was a tent there with butlins on it. They had roller skating. You know, so really kind of immerse yourself. And there was a real mix of eras there, kind of wartime, you know, 40s, and then the 50s. There was a lot of dancing, and then kind of a bit of the 60s. Not much though, to be honest. Most people dressed up as kind of 40s and 50s, but the place is huge. That's, as you're looking at the screen now, that's the first side, and then we crossed over the bridge, over the racetrack and everything to the second side, and it's absolutely massive. You just can't possibly do everything, I don't think, in one, you know, in one particular day. It was just massive. But really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone to go. Just as I say, really immerse yourself into the culture, kind of dress up and just go and do stuff, basically, because it was really cool. Unfortunately, I was in a little bit of pain with my hands, so I was a little bit grouchy. But we still had a really fantastic day, and there's lots to see. So you've got lots of stalls selling various bits and bobs and kind of different setups to look at. What straight in front of us there is a Tesco's. Now Tesco's, if you didn't know, here in the UK is a quite a large supermarket chain, and they had a mock-up Tesco's, a vintage Tesco's, and it was absolutely heaving in there. But inside, there's a vintage lady dressed up on her mobile phone, which is kind of weird. And so inside, there's a few things to buy, like sandwiches and crisps and that sort of stuff. But basically, the rest of the shop was made up with fake products. So these like Dove soap and all these canned and boxed goods, that was the vintage packaging, how the packaging would have looked, I don't know, I guess back in the 50s or 60s. As you can see, it's display only, but it was really, really cool to look back on some of the vintage products. And actually it would have been really good if you could have bought some of them, but yeah, so it was really, really cool. And I think that, I mean, it was absolutely rammed in there, so I guess a lot of people shared the same kind of interest as we did, that we really wanted to kind of, you know, look at all the vintage kind of stuff. But yeah, it was a really cool experience anyway. And like now, there are still queues at the checkout. Bit of walking, and then we decided to have some lunch. We actually took lunch with us. That's a vegetarian lunch, because we're sitting opposite a lot of the food vans, and we did have a good walk round at all the food vans. Oh, by the way, that there is a vintage mobile cinema. We didn't go in, but it looked quite cool. There was nothing vegetarian there. It was all burgers, bacon baps, chicken and fish and chips. So we ended up taking our own packed lunch. Really reminded me of our holidays. That's kind of like how we used to look going camping, with everything on top of the car. So just having a look round, there was kind of a massive setup of a beach inspired. There was some sand, and there were donkeys and candy floss and deck chairs and stuff. So there was all these little different setups, and it was really, really cool. Just as I said, there was just plenty to look at, and as I showed you before, there was some racing. Racing is also a really big part of the day. We did watch the racing, but it was really hard to video because it was so loud and so fast and so many people that I just really only captured a very small amount of the racing. It was just, you know, there was loads. It was practically going on all day, various different cars, but you know, just really hard to capture. So, well, you know, there's so much to look at in terms of stalls, and then you've got the cars to go and look at, you've got the aeroplanes to look at, all the stalls, you've got the racing, there are other activities going on, so there was just so much to look at, and you can't necessarily do it all, so you have to pace yourself, and it is genuinely a full day. You can really make a full day out of it. But yeah, if you're vegetarian, you need to take your own food. So you know, we ummed and ahed about it, and we thought, well, it's a 3-hour journey either way for a start, and you know, we don't know how long we're going to be out and if we could get food, so we decided to take some with us, and we're really glad that we did, because as I say, there was just loads of fish and chips, loads of burgers and loads of meat stuff, but nothing vegetarian, so it's a good job we took our own. But it was really nice. You know, I could have just people watched for so long. You know, there was just so much going on, and just looking at what people were wearing, and you know, you really could just people watch the dresses, the hats, everything was just really beautiful. And I liked looking around the vintage clothing as well. It was just all really well done. Just, you know, thoroughly enjoyed it. Said you can look around the cars as well. This is what we're doing now, we're just having a look around some of the cars, and these were some of the cars that were racing on the track as well. Around the whole show, aren't they? Yeah. I'll tell you what, he knows how to apply that to work it, doesn't he? Treated to an air display. We had the Spitfire and the Hurricane. They're the small planes that were at the back, and at the front we had the two Lancasters, so that was really good to watch. And I tried to keep the noise in so you can appreciate how loud it was and how close it was. It was absolutely fantastic, and a real treat to see them flying in the air.
Today. And if you're wondering why I'm talking such a load of rubbish, what I'm really trying to say is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm the type of guy who never settles down. Where pretty girls are, well, you know I can't be found. I kiss them and I love them, cause the leader always say, I ain't
Right, we're in the car, we're very warm, very warm, it's a very warm day, and we are tired and achy because we've done a lot of walking. It's a massive show, and we're only 8 miles from the coast, so we thought we might go and mooch by the coast and maybe see if we can get some chips for tea. So that's the plan. We're here, guys, and we've just parked on the seafront, and the sky has suddenly started to look a bit grey, which isn't good, but it's still warm, and we've seen the sea, which is really cool. I used to come on holiday to Bognor and Regis. Well, I say used to, I think I came like once or twice as a child with my parents, because Regis is quite good for fossil hunting, and I used to be really into dinosaurs and fossils when I was younger. So it's been a long time since I've been here, and we drove along the seafront and we spied crazy golf. So I think we're going to go and play some crazy golf, which would be really exciting. But we're going to have a walk along the seafront and get some chips for our tea anyway. John is just getting a ticket for the car, and there is the beach, which is pebbly. It's a pebbly beach, but you know, we're going to have some fun. Colour of that sea, it's like, the colour of that sea is like green. There's the pier, there's John taking a picture of, you taking a picture of the seaside? Ah, nice. Niceness. It smells very seasidey. Nice. It was so windy at the seaside, so I didn't really end up recording anything and speaking at the time, because it was just so windy. We never did play crazy golf because we got there and it was just well, we could have played, but they were just sort of closing up, and also it was cash only, and we only had £10 cash left on us, and we wanted to buy some dinner, so we decided to save our money for dinner. But we had a kind of a walk round, and you know, just enjoyed the view and the sea breeze, and had a walk on the pier and a walk on the beach, and it was just really nice. As I said, didn't really film any talking stuff because it was just so windy, but just thought I'd bring you along and show you the sights and the views. I could just listen and watch the tide all day long. I just love watching it going in and out, and the sound and the smell. I just love it. I love being at the seaside. It's my favourite place to be. We didn't get right to the end of the pier because there were lots of people fishing, so we didn't really want to go over there and get hooked by the fishing rod. So aren't we just adorable? Yeah, we are. And so the pier is slatted and it's made of wood, and if you look down you can see the sea below you, so a little bit nauseating if you don't like that kind of thing, but I think it's quite good fun. So yeah, just a really nice kind of evening to round the day off. guys, we're home. It's late. It's dark outside now. And there was, oh, it was so busy. I guess because there was so much, well, the M25 around London's always busy anyway. And then you've got all the extra traffic because of Goodwood and stuff. So, yeah, stuck in, took us an hour extra to get home. So, I had a little nap in the car. Oh, I had a big nap. Was I snoring?
Not as bad as normal, but yes.
I don't snore.
Oh, okay, that must have been the radio then.
Yeah, I snore. So I had a little nap on the way home, which was nice. I just couldn't keep my eyes open any longer. But John drove, so there we go. We're home now. We're tired. Feel like we've been out in the sun and the wind all day. You know when that your face just gets all kind of like tight and stuff. So slap some moisturiser on. So we're just home and we're just seeing the girls. John's just pooper scooping and they've just had some kale. And yeah, so we're just going to give them some food and some love. Hi Splodge. Hiya. How are you? Are you alright? Hey Nibs. Hey Bet. Hey Bet, how are you? You having your kale? Oh, and that's nice kale, isn't it? Yeah. There's a little nose just in there. Cool. So, there we go. So that was our little adventure and I hope you enjoyed coming along with us today. So, yes, I might pop the kettle on and have a cup of tea and then it's probably straight to bed because John's got work in the morning. Ha ha ha.
School night.
It's a school night. You've stayed up late on a school night.
I know, terrible.
Terrible. Right, night night guys. See you soon. Bye.